"You two should divorce, Isabella." Chloe would purr over brunch, her phone perpetually recording for her stories. "My brother doesn't love you. It's obvious, isn't it?" It had been 1 year since our wedding day, and the space between us felt wider than the Grand Canyon. Mark, my husband, had never once touched me. Not a tender hand on my back, not a comforting hug, not even a brush of shoulders in passing. Our marriage was a meticulously crafted facade, a hollow shell that echoed with my unspoken loneliness. I was Isabella, a successful marketing executive, the primary breadwinner in our seemingly perfect household, yet in my own home, I felt utterly invisible. This was a stark contrast to our courtship. For a year before we married, Mark had seemed genuinely in love, attentive, and affectionate. I never imagined he would become so distant after we tied the knot. His sister, Chloe, was a constant, grating presence, a self-proclaimed lifestyle influencer, with millions of followers. She flitted through our lives like a brightly colored, venomous butterfly. Her perfectly manicured nails always pointed at my flaws, her saccharine smile hiding a sharp tongue. Mark would sit silently, occasionally nodding, his indifference a heavier blow than Chloe's barbs. I'd force a smile, a practiced art, and change the subject, my heart aching with each passing day. I had built this life. My career had soared, allowing us to live in a beautiful house, drive nice cars, and maintain the illusion of prosperity. Mark, a struggling artist, whose passion projects rarely materialized into income, relied heavily on my salary. His contribution to our shared life was negligible, save for his presence, which was more like an absence. I paid for everything, the mortgage, the bills, even Chloe's extravagant birthday gifts. I told myself it was love, that he would eventually see my worth, that his distance was just a phase. I was a fool, clinging to a ghost. The breaking point arrived on a Tuesday afternoon. I had come home early, a rare luxury, planning to surprise Mark with dinner. The front door was ajar, and I heard hushed laughter from the living room. It wasn't Mark's usual quiet chuckle. It was a conspiratorial giggle, followed by Chloe's distinctive high-pitched squeal. My stomach dropped. I walked in, my steps silent on the plush carpet, and froze. Mark was on the sofa, Chloe perched on his lap, her arms around his neck, her head thrown back in laughter. His hand was resting casually on her thigh, his thumb stroking the fabric of her jeans. They were too engrossed to notice me. The sight was a punch to the gut, stealing my breath. This man, who couldn't bear to touch his wife, was openly flirting with his sister. "Mark." My voice was a shaky whisper, barely audible. They sprang apart, Chloe scrambling off his lap, her face a mask of feigned innocence that quickly morphed into defiance. Mark looked startled, then annoyed. "Isabella, you're home early. What is going on here?" I demanded, my voice gaining strength, though my hands trembled. Chloe scoffed, tossing her perfectly styled hair. "Oh please, Isabella. Don't make a scene. We were just having a bit of fun." Mark, ever the coward, shifted his gaze to the floor. "It's nothing, Izzy. Just talking." I pointed a trembling finger at his hand, still hovering near Chloe's leg. "That's how you talk to your sister? You, who can't even stand to be in the same room as me without a wall between us." He finally looked at me, his eyes cold, devoid of any warmth. "Look, Isabella, let's be honest. My sister is more attractive than you. She's vibrant, she's exciting, you're predictable." The words hung in the air, sharp and brutal, severing the last fragile threads of my hope. Predictable. After everything I had done, everything I had sacrificed, I was merely predictable. A quiet fury began to simmer beneath my calm exterior, a dangerous heat that promised to consume everything in its path. "Okay, fine," I said, my voice eerily calm, a stark contrast to the storm raging inside me. That night, sleep was a distant dream. My mind raced, fueled by betrayal, and a newfound, chilling clarity. I was no longer the heartbroken wife, I was a strategist. Chloe, the celebgram, lived for her image. Mark, the artist, lived off my money. Their weaknesses were glaringly obvious, and I knew exactly how to exploit them. My first move was financial. For years, I had managed our joint accounts, paying all the bills, meticulously saving. While Mark had his own small account, it was barely touched, a testament to his reliance on me. I logged into our shared online banking. With a few clicks, I transferred every last cent from our joint savings into my personal, hidden account. Then, I accessed Mark's bank account. which I had access to for household management purposes. I changed his password, effectively locking him out. He wouldn't realize it immediately, but when he did, panic would set in. The well had run dry. Next, the evidence. I remembered seeing Chloe's phone, lying on the coffee table during their little flirting session. She was so obsessed with documenting her life, she probably hadn't even noticed it. I retrieved it, my fingers surprisingly steady. A quick scroll through her camera roll confirmed my suspicions. There were dozens of photos, selfies of her and Mark, some innocent, some disturbingly intimate. A few even showed them kissing, hidden away in a private album. My heart twisted, but the pain was now overshadowed by a cold resolve. I meticulously selected the most damning ones, the ones that screamed affair, and transferred them to my own device. The following morning, I woke up with a singular purpose. I dressed impeccably, a sharp black suit that mirrored my resolve. Chloe arrived shortly after, her usual chirpy self, ready for another day of content creation. Mark emerged from his studio, looking disheveled, probably having spent the night creating. They sat at the breakfast table, oblivious, their faces illuminated by the morning sun, which would soon set on their comfortable lives. I walked into the dining room, my phone in hand. "Good morning," I said, my voice calm, almost sweet. They looked up, a flicker of surprise in their eyes at my unusual demeanor. "Isabella, you look serious," Chloe chirped, trying to sound playful. "I am," I replied, a small, knowing smile playing on my lips. "I just wanted to share something with you both." I opened my phone, and, with a few taps, uploaded the incriminating photos to my social media accounts. Not just my personal ones, but also a few anonymous gossip accounts that I knew Chloe followed religiously. The captions were short, brutal, and to the point. The truth behind the perfect celebgram life. My husband and his sister. Betrayal runs in the family. I tagged Chloe's main account, ensuring maximum visibility. Chloe's phone, which she had placed beside her plate, buzzed incessantly. Her eyes flickered down, then widened in horror. "What have you done?" she shrieked, her perfectly made-up face contorting. She scrolled furiously, her fingers flying across the screen, seeing her carefully curated image crumble in real time. Mark, confused, leaned over to see. His face went ashen. "Isabella, what is this? Delete it." "Oh, I don't think so," I said, taking a sip of my coffee, enjoying the bitter taste. "This is just the beginning." Then came the financial blow. "And Mark," I continued, my gaze fixed on him, "I've also taken the liberty of transferring all our joint savings into my account. And I've blocked your access to your own bank. Since I've been the one paying for everything, and since you seem to have so much fun with your sister, I figured you wouldn't mind if I took back what was mine. Enjoy your vibrant life, darling, you'll need it." The color drained from Mark's face. He tried to log into his banking app, his fingers fumbling. When it failed, a look of pure terror replaced his earlier shock. "You can't do this." "I have nothing." "Oh, but I can," I countered, my voice unwavering. "And I just did." Chloe was sobbing now, her mascara running down her cheeks, smudging her perfect facade. Her phone was a relentless stream of notifications, hate comments, unfollows, brands pulling out of deals. Her career, her entire identity, was collapsing before her eyes. "My career, you've ruined me," she wailed, burying her face in her hands. Mark, realizing the full extent of his financial ruin, joined her, a pathetic, choked sob escaping his throat. "Isabella, please, I'm sorry. Don't do this." I watched them, the two people who had so casually dismissed and humiliated me, now reduced to blubbering messes. There was no joy in their tears, only a profound sense of vindication. The satisfaction was cold, precise, and utterly complete. "You both said I was predictable," I stated, standing up, adjusting the cuffs of my suit. "Perhaps, but predictable doesn't mean powerless." I left them there, amidst the wreckage of their betrayal, and their shattered lives. The house, once a symbol of my unrequited love, now felt like a cage I had finally unlocked. I hailed a cab, my phone buzzing with messages of support from friends who had seen my posts. My career was solid, my finances secure. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in years, I felt truly free. The weight of their indifference, their cruelty, had been lifted. I was no longer Isabella, the predictable wife. I was Isabella, the woman who had reclaimed her power, one calculated move at a time. And as I drove away, leaving behind the echoes of their cries, I knew I would never look back.